the card, we got a light heavyweight matchup between Khalil Rountree versus Modestas Bukauskas, where Rountree comes in at 9-5 and is the plus 130 underdog, and then you got Bukauskas who comes in at 11-4 and is the minus 155 favorite. What do you think of this matchup?
I don't know, man. Super conflicted with this matchup, just because I'm not very high on either of these fighters lately. But it is a good matchup between two good kickboxers, right? So both of these guys throw about 3 to 4 punches per minute, with Khalil being the faster and more powerful fighter who is at best when he is pushing the pace. Khalil struggles moving backwards and has a bad ground game, so if Modestas wants to win this, he should just take it to the ground, lay on him, and then we move on. Modestas is a well-rounded fighter with good technical striking, but can be reactive, which can benefit Rountree, keep him on his back foot. Both fighters are looking to get back in the win column, but it all depends on who controls the octagon. Modestas' comfort in moving backwards should allow Khalil to dictate the pace. But this honestly is a 50-50 fight for me, given the last two fights for these guys. You see Rountree kind of switching up his training and moving more towards like Muay Thai kickboxing style, and then he comes out and he just doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? He just moves around the cage and barely throws stuff. Didn't even look like he wanted to be in there. Maybe he was hurt. Maybe he was gassed from a weight cut. I'm not Khalil, so I don't want to fault him, but I really haven't been high on Khalil. I pick him, I think, every time I see him, except for the Eric Anders fight where he looked amazing. But actually, I'm going to go with Khalil again. I'm going to stay with the person I always pick, and I know he's the underdog, but I think he's going to win this by decision. But honestly, the fight could go either way.
Bold move.
Thanks.
But first we got a clear Rountree. He is a southpaw fighter with a Muay Thai foundation. He is good at setting up his kicks to the body and the head. He throws an inside leg kick to orthodox fighters and a lower calf kick to southpaws. He favors using the body kick as well. He has good hands and uses the 1-2 straight left and right hook to attack the opponents. He has power, but starts to tire out after starting out quickly in fights and has subpar takedown defense. Then you got Bukauskas, who is a fighter who is great at movement and setting a pace for his striking. His lateral movement is unique for the weight class, and he has great footwork like a boxer. He throws a slow 1-2 and sometimes telegraphs his striking too much, especially when he leans in to throw the left hook he likes to use. He has a habit of throwing in the pocket and not getting out right away. So he takes damage, takes a lot of damage for not escaping the pocket. He has great cardio and vision, but his takedown defense is a work in progress. This fight could go literally two separate ways, in my opinion, because first you got clear Rountree. This guy has power. He knows how to throw. And like you said, he has that Muay Thai background. But the thing with him that is always his Achilles heel is the fact that he likes to stand in one place and fight there. He wants the guy to come to him, and he wants him to be right in front of you, and he just wants to go ham at his opponent and have them do the same thing back. But you got a guy like Modestas who likes to move around. He can go around for all 3 rounds. He could probably go around for 5 rounds, keep the movement going. He'll come in, hit, come out, move around, and then just keep on doing that, which is going to be a big issue for Rountree because he's going to want him to stand. But where this gets a little bit trickier, too, is just like I said, Modestas gets into the pocket, and he tends to stay there a little too long for his own good.
Yeah.
And he moves out slowly. He's going to take fire for that because that's when you're going to have Rountree who's going to throw the kitchen sink at him when he comes in. And it's just a matter of when that happens, where Rountree knock him out or where he just give him a little bit of a beating, and then you're going to see Modestas come back out, either change his game plan up, keep on moving, or maybe he goes into like a kickboxing range for a while and moves around, throws, comes back, and then just changes it up. I think I wanted to go Rountree, but he just doesn't put that much volume out. whereas Modestas has the ability to just move around, avoid those big shots, and then put the volume in. And at the end of the day, like I have Modestas Bukauskas by unanimous decision, just for that fact. I think he's going to keep the pace going. I think Rountree is going to wind up tiring himself out, probably around after the second round. It could be 2-0 Modestas, or it could be 1-1. But going into the third, I think Rountree is going to be tired, and then all Modestas has to do is move around some more, avoid any shots that he tries to get desperate with, and then to just win by having so much volume in that it beats Rountree.
Yeah, man. I've always been high on Khalil Rountree, right? We've seen the power that he has, but lately, like when I was talking about like having not being high on him,
Yeah.
he's kind of reminded me of Tyron Woodley and Jimmy Manawa later in their career, right? Where they knew they had knockout power and they relied on that. And they just knew that all it takes is one shot. And they didn't do enough, they didn't stay active enough to get these wins that they should have gotten 2 fights ago, right? So with Khalil, if he's just going to stand there, he's going to struggle. He's going to get taken down, he's going to get, chopped at the leg. He's dedicated his most of his time towards going back to his kickboxing roots. I need to see it. Like I need to see leg kicks. I need to see, control of the octagon. I need to see that, him moving forward and keeping Modestas, who is a switch stance, who will alternate, just keep chopping at the legs, move him back, work him to the cage, and then piece him up with the combos. Don't just look for that knockout power. You look for that knockout power, you're just going to get. You look for one shot, you're going to get 2 returned, because Modestas, as as serviceable as his striking is, he's very technical and he's very accurate. Khalil's very accurate and powerful, but he needs to throw more volume if he wants to win this fight.
Instead of having them come to him, he needs to go to them. Force the action, throw his leg kicks, and then basically shrink the octagon up where he has them pushed against the cage, because that's where that small range of Khalil Rountree will be at his best. Because if he just waits, his opponent's not going to care. They're going to just move around. But if he shrinks the area to where he's right in front of him because he's pushed him backwards, he's going to have an easy target to hit. And that's when Rountree is at his best. But he has, just like you said, the bad habit of having them try to come to him. And then that's not always going to work. And then that's why I'm going with Modestas in this fight.
Yeah, not everybody just wants to stand there and bang. You know what I mean? They want to show off what they have so they can market themselves and get the next fight and show more pieces of the game and, show, execute what they've been pulling off in training. So you just can't stand there and expect a firefight. So hopefully Khalil comes through for me on this one. I was honestly surprised that he was on the main card after the last few performances, but we'll see. I'm pulling for him.
But